Hi there, it's Mary Charleson here from 5minutemarketing.com. Welcome back and welcome to 2020. This week we're taking a look at 5 trends which are going to be impacting your marketing and your business this year. And we're going to do a top line summary of each of these 5 trends, and then over the next 5 weeks I'm going to be doing a deeper dive into each of these trends and how you can apply it specifically to your business and hedge against it. I'll be doing that in my blog and my e-newsletter, and hopefully I'll be doing some video summaries as well. Trend number 1 is influencer marketing is going to mature and explode even more than it already has. Essentially, the top line on this thing is it's going to be much more formalized. We're going to have creative analysis. We're going to have audience analysis. We are going to use analytics to very much verify influencers and their clout. You can expect creative briefs for influencers and also paid amplification of their audience. To be able to obviously reach more, but to get that back-end analytics and much more formalization of that arrangement with an influencer as a content creator, essentially across platforms. Second trend, search engine optimization is going to see seismic shifts, specifically around voice search, visual search, and as well as the snippet box, which is appearing in the top of our Google search. So very briefly on each of those. Voice search, we know, is going to make up more than 50% of all searches online by the end of 2020, and that's largely due to devices like Google Home, Alexa, Siri. Some of those devices, as much as 30%, do not have a screen, and so 30% of those searches will be done on a device that doesn't have a screen display, and it's going to give you one recommendation, and that's the one you're going to go for, and that ties in very much to that snippet box at the top of a Google search. So we're going to dig into that in the SEO deep dive summary, but essentially voice is going to be a big thing on search, as well as visual search. We've got Google Lens, we've got Pinterest Lens where you can snap a photo and it will search for you online based on a visual picture, and that is also going to have a significant impact on search. There's in 2019 there were already 600 million visual searches using Pinterest Lens, so that tells you the impact of that. That snippet box, you may have seen it show up at the top of a search. That's that little box of and it takes up almost the half a page of that first page. That ties in very closely to that voice search kind of result. Bottom line on all of this stuff is that we need to think about SEO from the perspective of how do we ask the question. If we are talking to somebody, how do we ask the question? That's the way SEO is going to search going into 2020 and beyond, and it's not the way it is done in the past. So that's the second trend, seismic shift coming in SEO. Third one is artificial intelligence will be on the rise. We've already seen it being used in chatbots, to give 24/7 customer response. Some progressive companies are using that very well. Others are still catching up, and many will still be trying to, to even get to that point in 2020. But beyond that, we're going to start to see AI being used in other really interesting creative ways, using it for content creation, using it for automated ad buying, and automated audience targeting. This is going to fundamentally change the game on social media ad buying. And we're going to see, once a few of the big players start to use it this way and ad costs go up on social media, it's going to change the playing field. And so we're going to see AI being used for split A/B testing on creative. We're going to see it being used to intelligently create audiences and lookalike audiences. Expect AI to make a significant impact on marketing in 2020. That having been said, trend number 4 is we're going to need to be more human. In the face of all this automation and digitization, we need to actually have human touch points. I like to say that marketing creates customers, but experiences turn your customers into fans. And it's those experiences, those one-to-one touch points, which are going to ultimately gain traction. And in a world where over 2/3 of our marketing is done by our customers, people who we don't control, but they control our message. And they control it through sharing on social media, through audience rating sites, through things, word of mouth, both online and off. And the only way we can cut through that is by creating experiences and memorable moments on a personal human side and let them do our marketing for us. So trend number 4, we need to be more human. Trend number 5, and that's there's still platforms of opportunity. A couple things on social media platforms. Whenever one comes out with a new feature, I think it's important for us to jump on board right away and utilize that, because their algorithms allow more content to open up organically when we use that feature. Instagram, IGTV, Instagram Stories is a great example of that. But where I see opportunity in terms of social media into 2020 are 3 platforms, 2 very specifically. I think LinkedIn and LinkedIn Organic is kind of like Facebook in 2011 before it went public. Right now, organic feed on LinkedIn is has huge reach, and it seems to go exponential, and it's very easy to target a very defined business audience depending on how you've built out your LinkedIn connections. So I think LinkedIn Organic is huge potential. I also think there's been a lot of talk around TikTok, but I think it's a platform. It's a youthful platform, but as in all new platforms, as they come onto the scene, they age up. And I think even if your audience isn't youth and early 20s and teens, I think it would be important to at least understand how TikTok works, because it could well be something which turns into something much, much bigger. The last platform of opportunity is Pinterest, and it really depends on your industry, depends on I've shared some things in my e-newsletter around visual search, the industries that are doing well with visual search. I think that would correlate well with people who could do well on Pinterest, but essentially it's a visual search engine. It's not a social media platform, and that's what makes it different, and that leads you directly from a pin to your website. And there's no other social media platform out there that is doing that. They all want to keep you on their platforms to serve you up more ads. So that's our trend number 5. My last one, I call it the wild card, and that's increased nationalism and a shift potentially towards more of an intranet, not an internet. I don't think this is going to happen in 2020, but I can see the groundwork being laid for it being something into our future. The internet promised an open platform to connect us all, and essentially what we're seeing now is a whole lot of division. And a lot of that has come as a result of commerce coming online and the division of audiences, and serving up content to people that are very much like us and into kind of content audiences. And it's caused a lot of division. Nationalism kind of plays into that. We've got rise of nationalism in America, but we've also got countries like China who have their own closed system. We've got countries like Saudi Arabia and Iran who have limit restrictions for their citizens in the online. And at the end of 2019, we had Russia that claimed that they'd successfully tried their own closed internet, essentially an intranet. So I see this American ownership of social media, influence, rising nationalism, division. I don't think it's going to happen in 2020. It's a long shot. It's a wild card. But I do see this... there's a bit of a pushback around some of this stuff around Americanism, nationalism, and I see the potential for intranets on a national level in some areas of our globe. That could well have an impact in the future if your business is on a global scale. So that's our summary of the 5 trends in 2020 and 1 wild card. Thanks for joining us, and looking forward to doing a deeper dive in the following weeks.